So is there a housing crisis here in the United States? The simple answer is yes. We have a housing crisis, but the housing crisis is worsening. This is actually getting far worse than many people predicted, and what many people were predicting actually went the complete opposite. Now, I want to address what's going on here, address why homelessness is also increasing, and how this could impact you in the very near future. So, make sure you stick around for this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is going on. But all I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So yes, the housing crisis here in the United States is worsening. Not only are we seeing the housing crisis in many places is becoming unaffordable or unattainable, but what's happening is we are seeing millions and millions of Americans are going into debt in order to afford a place to live. And I'm not talking about mortgage. I am talking about credit card debt. Right now, 56% of Americans do not have $1,000, whether it's in cash or in a credit card, which they could then use for an emergency. That's a problem because many of these people are using credit cards to pay their bills, to pay for utilities, to pay for cable, pay for electric, gas, whatever it may be, because they can't afford to pay that in addition to their home. Now, let me show you this. This article says, do high housing costs threaten the American dream? Here's what we know. High housing costs not only are threatening the American dream, many people are saying the American dream has now changed. There is no American dream. Previously, the American dream was to be able to work, be able to have a family and children, and own a home. Then eventually retire. Right now, people are not talking about retiring. That's the last thing on their mind. Some people are not even saving for retirement because they don't have money. It's a problem. And one of the reasons why it's a problem is because first-time home buyers, they don't have the ability to even buy a home. They have to go on rent because home prices, especially for first-time home buyers or starter homes, well, they're hitting record levels. That's what we're seeing. Something else I just want to run by you as well is that because first-time home buyers and starter homes, they're getting the gap between what they can afford versus what they cost is getting wider. It's growing. That's a problem. And because of this, more first-time home buyers are opting to push off buying a home, and instead they're going to rent. But by renting, in some cases, they are spending a lot more than they were anticipating. They're spending much more of their income, which then it leaves less income for things like food, utilities, a car payment, right? Other debt like credit cards. Yeah, it's becoming a problem. But look at this. Because the Biden administration has a plan. They want to make sure that everybody can afford a home. Well, the reason why they're doing this and saying this and trying to pass any type of bill that would help with affordable housing is because Americans are extremely frustrated by the housing prices ahead of the 2024 election. The Biden administration has known that this was going to be an issue for a couple of years now. But why are they addressing this 6 months before the election? It's because it's going to take a toll on the voters. And people know that if they're feeling it in their wallets, okay, they're feeling it with their homes, it's only going to get worse. Look at this one. It says median house prices are now 6 times the median income, up from 4 to 5 times 20 years ago. The ratio of median rents to median income rose from 25 to 30%. And when the median home price is 6 times the median income, and the problem is it was 4 to 5 times 20 years ago, that's a concern. Because why are home prices going up so quickly, but yet income is slowly going up? Again, a little bit of a problem. I want to read you a little bit of this though. I want to read you this one. Housing affordability has worsened over the past 2 decades. Median house prices are now 6 times the median income, up from a range of between 4 and 5 2 decades ago. In cities along the coast, the numbers are higher, exceeding 10 in San Francisco, for instance. The ratio of median rents to median income has also crept up over this period from 25% to 30%. Rising house prices are a particular problem for those intending to buy their first home, while existing homeowners are cushioned somewhat by their increased equity in the house as the price of their home rises. This is another issue. I've talked to many people that have considered selling their home, but then it comes down to one thing. That right now interest rates are up over 6%. With interest rates up over 6% for a fixed year, 30-year mortgage, they're looking at that like, why would I do that when I'm sitting at 3, in some cases under 3%? So they're going to double their interest payment? Yeah, that's why a lot of people are waiting. But here's where things are getting out of hand. As home prices go up, values go up. As the value of a home goes up, so does that property tax. As property taxes go up, especially for older Americans, the issue is they may be unable to afford it. That's an issue. I was talking to a friend of mine just the other day. His property taxes went up over 100%. Okay? He lives in California. His property taxes went up over 100%. That's crazy. You know, I complain when mine go up 10, 15% in a year. His went up over 100%. Okay? That's huge. Luckily, he can afford it, but for most people, if this were to happen, they're not going to be able to do it. If your property taxes go from, let's say $500 to $600 a month, all of a sudden they jump to $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,500 a month that you got paying property taxes. Most people can't afford that. That's a problem. I want to read this to you though, okay? Because this is part of the issue. As more people cannot afford their own home that they have lived in for decades, and it's because of property taxes, guess what? They have to move. Or, in some cases, they become homeless. The bank takes their home, right? The city takes their home, goes to somebody else. Now they're stuck on the street. Look at this. Homelessness in the U.S. reached record levels in 2022. It says the average, on average, a total of 582,462 people were without a home on any given night in 2022. Among these, 127,768 were chronically homeless, the highest number ever recorded. Now, I want to read this to you. In the report, it says, on a given night, the homeless services system provides shelter for 348,630 people. Despite these significant efforts, 40% of the people experiencing homelessness live unsheltered. Means their primary nighttime residence is a place not suitable for human habitation. For example, a city sidewalk, a vehicle, abandoned building, or a park. Significantly living unsheltered can impact a person's health and safety. Now, I want to show you a map. This map right here, okay? This just kind of shows the rate of homelessness per 10,000 people in a general area. Look in Washington State, 32.6 people are homeless per 10,000. There's 25,211 people experiencing homelessness. Keep in mind, these numbers are not 100% accurate. Many expect the homelessness population is much higher, but you can't find them. Just keep looking. Oregon, 42.2 people per 10,000 people. That's how many are homeless. Again, it's a lot. In California, 43.8 people are homeless per 10,000. You go over here in New York, 37.4 people. Up here in Maine, 32. You go over here to Nevada, 24.2. Texas is 8.3, so pretty good. Florida, 11.9 per 10,000 people. Again, over here is the issue. Okay, Washington, Oregon, California, even in Alaska. In Alaska, 31.6 people are homeless per 10,000. That's crazy because Alaska is not very warm. It's an issue. Hawaii, look at that. Hawaii has an issue because it's warm, okay, but it is expensive. So many people live out on the street. Okay, many people live out on the street. But big issue. What are we doing for veterans? What are we doing for the older population? Well, this article says the government must do more for older Americans facing homelessness. The problem? We're not. We are actually doing less. So, the one thing I can tell you right now is yes, the United States has a housing crisis. It is worsening, but as it worsens, homelessness is increasing. As homelessness increases, we're also going to see more crime here in the United States. So, experts believe something has to be done sooner rather than later. Well, I don't know if it will. I will keep you updated as we get more information on that, but as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I will see you guys on the next one.